Hey, what's up guys, GT Gamer here, and welcome to my brand new game. And as always, I'm bringing you this game late with a terrible review, because that's what I do. Self-burn, they hurt the most because you've already accepted that they're true. But either way, today we're flying from Auckland on New Zealand's North Island to the capital, I believe it's the capital, Christchurch on the South Island in this awesome Airbus, Air New Zealand Airbus A320neo. So I'm going to pop into the cockpit. I'll try and talk you through a bit of how to fly this plane. First I'm going to release the parking brake. We are going to be flying mostly on autopilot, and we're going to land using the ILS system because it's really good. And we're going to see some absolutely spectacular scenery along the way. So let's pop the throttle forward a little bit. I think that's a bit too, yeah, that's a little bit too much. I'm flying using an Xbox One controller, a wired Xbox One controller. But honestly, I'll talk a bit more about this in a bit. This game is mind-blowing. Like, it's so easy to use, it really, really is. Right, so I need to line up here on runway 23 left, 23 left. And today our call sign is New Zealand 1683. So let's line up, okay, maybe a bit more throttle than this, just to get us lined up. There you go. Gotta get a bit of speed in there, and I'm using the left and right triggers to turn. They also control the rudder. Right, what do we reckon there? Is that lined up? Right, fuck it, let's go for it. No, let's not go for it actually. Just gonna stop here because I haven't set my plane up correctly. Right, so I'm going to zoom the map out here to, yeah, 20 miles will do for now. And I'm going to set the altitude. I don't know what we're flying at, but I'm going to set it now to about 10,000. As soon as we take off, I will engage the autopilot and it'll tell us how high to go. 29.92 is our barometric pressure, that's correct. Parking brake is off, throttles are all good. Right. Checklist is already complete. All I have to do now is take off. Right, let's go. V1 speed, I'm going to aim to pull back about 140 knots, give or take. That should give us plenty of airspeed to climb out of Auckland. Right, 90, 100, 120. Coming up on 130, I'm going to start pulling back. There we go. I should have given us more flaps. I'm going to increase the flaps now, just to give us a bit more lift, and gear up. Start putting the flaps away. A bit less flaps there, and flaps in. Right, going to engage the autopilot. Look at that though, that is an amazing, it's so amazing this game. It is a 1-to-1 scale of the entire planet. It's also very loud.
New Zealand 1683 is at 1,600 feet, climbing 6,000 feet.
Right, 6,000 feet.
1683 New Zealand Center, continue as planned.
6,000 feet. And, oh, engage that. Right, I'm going to reduce the throttle a little bit now. To there, just to allow the auto throttle to take over the speed of the plane. Right, 7,900 feet. What's our altitude we gotta fly to? I really should have been listening. Oh, did it not give us an altitude? Right, okay.
Netherland 1683 climb and maintain 12,000
feet. 12,000 feet, right. We can do that.
And maintain 12,000 feet, New Zealand 1683.
New Zealand. I like that. But yeah, the scenery in this game is absolutely stunning, and there is something about halfway along this route that I want to show you that is absolutely amazing. This is the first video I'm making on my new graphics card. I got a MSI 2080 Super. X-Game Cooling Trio, something like that. Brand new graphics card. I upgraded from the 1080 Ti that I had, because that one was slightly damaged from thermal issues where I tried to overclock it before. Still worked fine, but every now and again it'd be a bit spazzy, so had to run it underclocked, and I honestly I just wanted an upgrade. Oh, the scenery is amazing in this game. I have turned my frame rate counter on. It's in the top right corner. I don't know if you can see that. It's not very clear at the moment. But on my system, which is an i7 7700K overclocked to 4.5 and a 2080 Super with 32 gigs of 3000 MHz RAM, 3600 MHz RAM, sorry. It runs really, really well. You do occasionally have lag spikes, but in general, it's really quite stable. Right, is it going to take us along the coast, or are we going to fly out over the water? I think we're going to fly out over the water for a little bit. I have set the presets to clear sky, just because I wanted to enjoy the scenery quite a lot. It really is something special. They've made a one-to-one map, scale map of the world, which is just, it's insane. I found my house the other day. A lot of people have been wondering if you can do that. You can. Ooh, got it, climb. What was it? 260, I think it said.
And maintain flight level 260, yeah. New Zealand 168
26,000, there it goes. Pop that in there. But yeah, you can totally find your house. It won't look exactly like it does in real life, but it will be there as a model, more than likely. The way it works is all the houses are auto-generated off Bing Maps data. So it gets the satellite, it sees a house, and it auto-generates it. And it really is amazing. If you do buy this game and you're not an experienced pilot, I highly recommend starting off on the Airbus A320neo. Very easy to fly, very easy to work out the autopilot, and the ILS system in it is really good. I would recommend flying either as a low or a high altitude airways and set the preset so there's a ILS runway. That will make it so much easier for you. Take the depth all the way up and ILS landing. You will not be able to see where you're going until you're over the top of the runway. And your plane will get covered in ice, so it's really cool. Right, we've just been approved to 16,000. I have turned the volume down a little bit just to make it more manageable for my ears. It was pretty loud. And now we're going to 16,000. All you do to decrease the altitude, rotate this little knob here to select it. There's a little button behind you can click to change the increments to 100s or 1000s to switch between them. And then you just press the little up arrow and it'll manage your altitude automatically. Although for some reason it's given us 1,800 feet. No, 18,500 feet, sorry. Not too sure why it's doing that. So I'm just going to press down. That'll override the management and it'll go to the altitude I've selected. Okay, let's see how far it is to the airport. It's about 400 miles this flight. It is a really nice flight though. Yeah, so just at the top of the display, about 320, 330 miles away. That is the airport we're landing at. And I'm going to change that back to... I like it around the... I choose generally between the 40 and the 80 preset when I'm in flight, and then as I come into land I generally go closer with the map to 10, 20 miles. As far as I know, this is a realistic flight plan. This is the real flight plan that they Air New Zealand use to fly from Auckland to Christchurch, along the coast and then over Mount Taranaki, and then they go to the South Island over the mountains, and as I said, the approach is stunning. And I went to do that, I was prepared to fork out that extra money, and it would not let me rebuy it because I already have it in my basket, even though it's a different version. Like Steam, really, you need to fix that because you're losing out money, literally. I was going to pay extra money to have the deluxe edition and upgrade, but they just would not allow me. I even wrote to the Steam developers using their help system, and the response I got was, yeah, sorry, maybe try reaching out to the game developer. And it's like, really? That's just not good enough, guys. So yeah, at the moment I'm stuck with the standard edition until I can fix that. I don't know, maybe I'll just buy the deluxe edition off Microsoft. That's a shame. It really is a shame, because I was looking forward to upgrading. The only thing I have noticed about this plane, and I'm bringing it up now because I can hear it, There is an unusual engine whine, which sounds like it's changing in pitch very rapidly. I'm not sure if that is realistic or if that's a bug that no one's noticed, but it does get a bit annoying. New Zealand is a stunning place. Sorry, I'm taken back to enjoy the scenery. It is so beautiful from the sky. I'm sure it's beautiful from the ground as well, but from flying over it, I mean, I'd love to go there, but I haven't. From flying over it, it's amazing. And here is that mountain I was on about. What's so special about this mountain? Even from here, I don't know how far that is, I'm guessing probably 30 miles. Yeah, there's Plymouth, New Plymouth. You can still clearly see the exclusion zone. It is mind-blowing. Plymouth Airport. I might try and do a flight to or from there at some point. That looks pretty cool. Oh, we're turning. We're turning to get closer to the mountain. Hopefully we don't just crash into it now. So one of these areas is New Plymouth. I would say it's that one because that's closer to the airport, but it could be the larger one there. In fact, I'm more inclined to say it's the larger area of development down there. I don't know. I don't know New Zealand's geography that well. A circle visible from space, with this amazing looking mountain at the middle. It's so symmetrical as well. It's just that little ridge there that destroys the symmetry of it. Well guys, this is Mount Taranaki. It's a very interesting name that is. We're about to pass into the exclusion zone. Look at the detail though, you can see every single tree. Like, I know it's just a Google Maps or Bing Maps layer popped over the top of a terrain terrain level map, I don't know. But it looks so real. That looks amazing. I don't know what that is down there, that little patch of white. I'm not above 230. Oh yeah, I am. Oh well, screw it. You can see my shadow on the mountain. Oh, that's cool. You can see my little itty bitty shadow down there as it disappears off the edge of a cliff. Wow. Just wow. Check that out. I need to visit Everest at some point. How tall is Everest? 29,000 feet. So if I fly at 30,000, just over the top of it, just saw the people spending like 10 grand climbing it and see me. That'd be funny. In a Cessna. So yeah, you could have climbed Everest, or you could have spent that money on a plane and just flown over it. It is so expensive to climb Everest. It's like, you could spend up to like 200 grand to climb Everest. Why would you spend that money to climb a mountain? Oh yeah, sure, it's on your bucket list, but really? Really? Like, I know you can climb it for as cheap as 20 or 30 grand, but count me out. Check that out for a thumbnail. Maybe that. Bit of a lag spike there. That's so cool. I love the way as well it's flat. It's not like it's a volcano in a mountain range. The land is relatively flat here. It's like a bit of a valley, a plateau, and then you just have that in the middle of it. How tall is that mountain? That's what I want to know now. Let's get my trusty little phone out here. Mount Taran. How high is it? 2,500 meters. Damn. Right, well, we're going out over the ocean, guys. You can just see in the distance there the little bumps of the South Island. Okay guys, we're approaching the South Island of New Zealand now, so because the South Island is very hilly, as you can see, even though the hills are quite short, I find that it creates a lot of turbulent air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to request to increase my altitude by 6,000 feet, because I find that 22,000 is quite a good altitude to avoid turbulence, but it's also low enough to get a good view. I love that, New Zealand.
Land 1683, climb and maintain flight level 220.
22,000, there we go.
Climb and maintain flight level 220, New Zealand 1683.
And for those wondering, yes, the autopilot will land you, but you might want to take over manual control right at the end just to smooth the landing out. Otherwise you might bounce and enter alpha floor mode, which is probably something I should mention. So alpha floor mode, or A floor, is a safety system built into Airbus airplanes, and it's essentially there to stop you from stalling. So as you go to land, don't pull back too far, because if the plane thinks you might be about to stall, or your angle of attack becomes too great, you will enter alpha floor mode. The way you can tell is it'll say A floor by here. It'll be A dot floor, and if that happens it will go full throttle and it'll try and increase your height, which during touchdown is a pain in the ass, because honestly you have to go around. I did enter alpha floor mode before and thought, let's see if I can land it anyway, so I fought against the autopilot. Not great. I mean, I did get down. I stopped before the end of the runway, but only just. And I'm pretty sure a lot of refund requests went into Spirit. I believe I was flying at that time, the airline Spirit. So yeah, just be careful of alpha floor mode. I'm going to use the autopilot to land. Like, I'll leave it on as long as I can. A, because it actually does help quite a lot, and B, to show you how it's done. Basically, it's kind of a tutorial, this video, but mainly I just want to show off the amazing graphics. Let's see what we can do weather-wise. Let's see what all the weather presets look like. Firstly, let's go nighttime. So I'm going to go live because I'm in the UK, so it's night in New Zealand at the moment. That's why it looks like at night. It's actually easier flying at night because the lights help out quite a lot. You can see like runways from really far away, and the glide slope, the PAPI, the Precision Approach Path Indicator, which basically are a set of lights that tell you how high up you are compared to how far away from the airport you are. It's like a visual representation of the glide slope you should be following. So that's night mode. I'm going to go back to about 12 o'clock though. I like that time. So I'll just drag that across to... I took off at 12, so let's say it's 12:27. That's close enough. I've already showed you live weather. That's where I believe it's cloudy at the moment in New Zealand. Oh, it's actually pretty nice down here. I might leave live weather on. Yeah, I'm going to go live weather for the rest of the flight. Clear skies is what we're flying. Few clouds, that's a few scattered clouds here and there. You will notice the turbulence as I change modes though, so that's scattered clouds. It's fairly realistic. That's pretty much what you get on a reasonable sunny day. And then next we've got scattered clouds, which is a lot more densely packed. broken clouds. That's usually what you get when you fly around Europe, because the weather here is crap. I've flown across Europe with live weather, and this is generally what you get. And then we've got high-level clouds, which are clouds, very few clouds, but they're very high up. Overcast. Not great if you're doing a video and you want to show stuff to people. We're just at the edge of the cloud lines here. Yeah, that's some pretty dense clouds. And next we've got rain, which is kind of hard to show off at high altitude, but it's pretty much what you would imagine. Snow. It's actually very nice at high altitude, but as you get down there you won't be able to see anything. But it does give you some interesting effects on the runway, so that's definitely worth trying. And it does, I don't know if I can see the floor at all here. Let's try and see if I can see the floor, shall we? Yeah, over there. So it does actually chuck some snow on the floor for you. And I've got a bit of a lag spike going. And finally we got Storm. Storm is a really cool weather effect. Let's go cockpit view for a sec, see if we can see some lightning. We might be too high for it. Oh, no, there was some. Sometimes it'll give you a bolt right in front of the windscreen. And it's really cool. It does look really awesome. Come on, give us a bolt. Nah, I've flown for about a minute in the storm now. It's given us some thunder and lightning, but nothing in front of the windscreen. But yeah, thunder and lightning, that's a really good effect. And let's go back to clear weather, nice bit of turbulence. And we should, how far are we now? We are about 120 miles away, so it won't give us any indication to decrease altitude yet, but it won't be too long. So we've got a nice little mountain ridge here. Here's the bay. Don't know what town that is, but they've got a racehorse track. You can see that down there. Nice little racehorse track. The live weather is certainly good. It really is. I live not far from Cardiff Airport, and I've flown out of Cardiff and over my house with live weather on. And yeah, it's pretty on spot. It's pretty bang on, that is. So I would highly recommend using live weather. The only time I really turn it off is I put clear skies or I want a good view. Or sometimes you're just like, yeah, I don't want to land in a thunderstorm. If you're in a Cessna, I wouldn't put thunderstorms on because you're going to have a real hard time there. But yeah, for an Airbus, which has, in my opinion, the easiest to use controls, then yeah, go for it. Thunderstorms, snow, I love landing in the snow. That makes it really difficult. As I said, the visibility, I landed at Schiphol this morning in snow, and I turned the depth all the way up, and yeah, I genuinely couldn't see the runway as I flew over the threshold. I just kind of sat there. I was in outside camera, just going, I hope the autopilot knows what it's doing. Because it really, if it didn't know, it's hitting at someone's house. So if you live near the airport, I'd probably be hitting your house. Okay guys, so I'm recording this audio voiceover after I landed and after I was editing the video. Unfortunately, at some point my audio just decided it didn't want to work anymore and my microphone stopped working for approximately 10 minutes. So I will bring you back just before landing, but unfortunately I did miss some of the flight. Generally it was just some really nice rivers that I saw. I might put a little highlight in of them as I fly over them. And it was the air traffic controller telling us to decrease altitude. We did that in steps, so first we descended to 14,000 feet, then 6,000, then 2,000, and went right up to the coast of New Zealand, and the airplane took a nice little right turn and lined us up with the runway, and I was about to intersect the ILS, and that is where I'll bring you back. But as I said, I'm sorry about the audio, and I'll put some nice little highlights underneath this voiceover now, so at least you have something good to look at and you'll see some of the interesting stuff that I saw. So once again, I apologise for that. Now let's get back to the video. Right, I'm going to increase the
Cleared
flaps
ILS Sierra runway
a bit
20
more.
approach New Zealand 168
Localizer is intersected. Oof, that felt like quite a drop then. Looked like it. Check out that river. That's really cool. And my frame rate's gone. Game's frozen. There we go.
New Zealand 1683 cleared to land runway 20.
And landing clearance.
12.
Gear down.
Cleared to land runway 20 New Zealand 1683.
As I said earlier, my checklists are all done automatically, and my radio comms are. I've got the AI to do that. My co-pilot's doing that. Ooh, this is not looking good for the frame rate. Occasional stutter here and there, it's not good. Fair play, pilots can't see much when they sit back, can they? Let's go this cam for a little bit. Can I make out the PAPI lights? I don't think I can yet, no. I assume this airport has PAPI lights. Pretty sure it's required by law.
1,000.
1,000. feet. How well will the autopilot line us up? I think we're looking pretty good. I'm going to pop that all the way in, not that it really matters now. I love the reflections on the ground. That's such a cool little detail.
500.
500 feet.
400.
400.
300.
Let's see if I balls this landing up then. Oh, there's the PAPI lights there. 2 white, 2 red. That's exactly what we should have. If you have 4 red, you're too low. If you have 4 white, you're too high. We're slightly off center, but you know what? I can deal with that.
100.
80, 60. I'm pulling back on the yoke a little bit now just to smooth it out.
20.
15, 10.
Retard.
Pop back the throttle. Come on, touchdown.
5.
There we go. Autopilot disconnected. And full reverse thrust. I'm going to go reverses until I hit about 50 knots. And pressing wide, slow down. Can I turn down there, or is that a runway?
1683 exit runway when able.
That is a runway, I believe, but you know what? Screw it. That was a bit of a jank turn.
New Zealand 1683 contact ground on 119.65.
Let's increase our speed a little bit.
119.65 New Zealand 1683.
Even on the ground, this looks really good. Like, this isn't even one of the handcrafted airports. This is just one it's auto-generated, pretty much. As far as I know it is, at least. But then, to be fair, pretty much all of them I visited look this good, so clearly something in their auto-generation program's working. 7 knots. Gonna go a bit faster on the throttle. Just going to increase our speed. Our speed limit is 20 knots. There is a car coming right towards me. What are you doing, buddy? You might want to move. You pleb. Well, either way, guys, this has been Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, and make sure you're subscribed as well. And what is that van doing? If he sees me, why is he driving towards me? What an idiot. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, as I said, hit the like button. I'll make some more if enough of you like it. I'll see you next time. Peace out, guys.